Welcome, YouTube. This is Emperor Dion from inside the wage cage, the rolling wage cage. But here's the topic for today. So you guys know I've spoken several times about the rise of racism and the rise of snow nationalism right now. But upon further inspection of these things growing in prominence, upon closer inspection, you start to realize that not an insignificant amount of the people who are proclaiming snow supremacy, W supremacy, like a not so insignificant amount of those people are themselves not white. Themselves are some variation of brown, whether they're Latino, Asian, so the yellow, or Indian. There's a lot of that. A lot of curry cells that are LARPing as snow nationalists. Or even in some cases, I've seen Africans that are LARPing and pushing snow nationalist talking points and proclaiming outright hatred for my people, Black Americans specifically. It's like this megazord of like all these different various groups of people who themselves are not white that are now trying to get a one-upment, trying to one-up Black Americans, trying to gain proximity to white people, trying to lower the bar also for what white even is. So it's like, oh bro, with all these other groups are white too. So like you'll see white looking Arab people trying to do this. A lot of white Hispanics will try to do this. A lot of some of the white curries will try to do this. There's lots of different people who have proximity to whiteness in appearance, but in actuality they are not anything close to white. And in a lot of cases they don't even have proximity to Western culture. Yet they'll be here trying to hitch their wagon up to white supremacy. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because there's a whole lot of people out here who, let's be real here, the core of why they do this is outright naked insecurity. So these people are so insecure in their own identity that they want to hitch their wagon up to something they are by definition not. So there's a lot of people right now that need to recognize what they are, what exactly they are, and also what they are not. So they don't understand that, hey, you're Hispanic, hey, you're Asian, hey, you're an Indian, hey, you're even African. You are not white, Anglo-Saxon, European. None of those things. None of those things. Hell, I'll even say with the Slavs too, the Eastern Europeans, they've got obviously a claim to being white, quote unquote, but they're not really seen as the same as like white Anglo-Saxon, Western European, like even in their case, because Eastern Europeans have nothing to do with America, for instance. And much of the ideas about race and what it means to be white, most of that comes from America. Most of the history surrounding that has to do with America and the Americas, and to a lesser degree Western Europe, broadly speaking too. So Eastern Europeans even don't really have a claim to it outside of like their appearance. Like, yeah, obviously they have quote unquote white skin, but culturally, historically, demographically, genetically, they don't really have a claim to that the way they think they do. And so even when it comes to them, the group outside of that has the strongest claim to being this don't even really fall into the category well enough. Yet they'll still be here hitching the wagon up to the weird squiggly line, got the weird squiggly line tattooed on them, pushing white nationalist talking points. Like, hell, what's that one dude's name? Legion of Man? Yeah, that big manosphere YouTuber, Legion of Man, perfect example. He's hella racist himself. And yeah, he thinks he's really part of this, and he's really just, you're an Eastern European, bro. You're Romanian. Don't nobody give a shit about Romania. And for damn sure, one of these nationalists that are part of like the Western Bloc wouldn't want your people really in their country like that. And they'll be able to cite all these little things that Romanians do. What are we talking about here? But it gets obviously a whole lot worse when you start talking about, like, dude, there's Nigerians that are pushing white nationalist talking points right now, guys. And like I said, this is not an insignificant amount of people that are doing this, that are in this position. Like, this is the most clown shit that I can think of going right now. Hispanics, they all voted for Trump, thinking, we vote for Donald Trump. We need to get this black people out of America, deport black people. Hispanics for Donald Trump. Like that fucking, especially those Cubans. Those Cubans are trying to, like, these people did not understand that black Americans have a history in this country going back, like, as far as, like, the white Americans do. So, like, black Americans have as strong a claim to America as the white Americans do. And we've had citizenship for hundreds of years at this stage. So there's no conceivable way, unless America wants to renege on pretty much all of its legal framework to do it. They could still do it technically, but they'd have to go back on so many things, which that would just be opening the door on something to where America can no longer be trusted, even by the people who, quote unquote, are white. You know, it's that type of deal with black Americans. Like, there's no way you could deport black Americans to anywhere. Where would you deport us to, really? Like, what, Africa? Where in Africa? What country? Like, see, there's all these little issues when it comes to that. But, you know, these people voted for Donald Trump not because they really had a realistic alignment with Donald Trump and the people who support him stand for, but because they wanted to be racist. And then they realized that this is going to mostly just backfire on them. But you see, all these minorities that are willing to hitch their wagon up to white supremacy, they're all getting the consequences of finding out, okay, now that we got our guy in power, yeah, like, we don't want you here too. Thank you for, we appreciate you helping us out, but now you get the fuck out, type of shit. And these people, like, seriously did not understand that no matter what you do, like, no matter how much you try to reframe what this stuff is and try to fit yourself into it, no matter how much you beg and plead, and, like, yeah, some white people that are on this time will let you in. Some of them will, truly. But it'll always be an awkward, precarious situation, even insofar as that happens. It'll always be a precarious situation where you're going to have to constantly justify your existence to these people. And I understand that there's a lot of people out here that have no standards as far as, like, dignity and self-respect. And they will forever compromise their own dignity just to gain acceptance or the illusion of it from people who truly don't like them really like that. So there are all these various brown people, these brown white supremacists is what I call them. These brown white supremacists. Oftentimes too with these people, they're as much or more than a threat to you if you're black than any white person ever will be. That's the crazy part about it. Because, like, genuinely racist white guys, they're not gonna be so vitriolic about actually coming after you like that. Too, in most cases. No, it's almost always these brown white supremacists that are gonna be the most vitriolic on terms of coming after you. So yeah, if you got somebody that's coming at you with, like, this type of rhetoric and you don't know what they look like, you got about an 8 out of 10-time chance that this is a Indian, a Hispanic, or even an African, or someone who doesn't really neatly fit into the category of white. You got about an 80% chance of it being that person, a brown white supremacist. Because again, these people, they lash out of insecurity. So people who lash out of insecurity are dangerous. They are dangerous. They are acting off of a survival instinct. So that alone is going to make them far more vicious, far more vitriolic, and far more dangerous. And frankly, if you need to defend yourself, by all means, defend yourself to the maximum extent of violence you can protract against these people. 100%, because these are the most dangerous ones, these brown white supremacists. Let me tell you something. If I ever encounter one of these brown white supremacists, if they ever come at me on some racist shit like this, I don't even get that mad about it if a white person is like this. I really don't. I get more so mad at these brown white supremacists than I ever will at a white person that's like this. 100%. Because it's like, bro, me and you should be on the same side here. You're a traitor, first of all. Second of all, you're like the mode that you're operating in is so undignified, so lacking in self-respect. I can't respect you. And when I can't respect you, then you're opening the door on the maximum amount of violence I can enact on you in order to deal with you. Because I don't respect you. You see, because you don't respect yourself clearly. So how can I respect you? It becomes that type of situation with these brown white supremacists. It's really like that. And it should be like that too, because again, they're going to be the most dangerous to you anyway. And so, I'd say out of all the white supremacists, I think like probably 50% of the white supremacists and the Groypers are actually these brown white supremacists. And that should tell you a whole lot of something. It's like it tells you just how pathetic and just a maggoty piece of shit that the majority of people are. Like, whatever. I mean, I was going to make a video talking about this too, about how I kind of just figured out that most people are like this, that they have no standards, no self-respect, no dignity at all, no integrity. They will kowtow and lie and just bend the rules to any extent desired, even if it breaks all pretense of honor. They will do that. They will go against honor in all cases, including their own self-respect, just to get one over on you. This is how most people are. But especially with these brown white supremacists, these are the lowest of the low life forms. Like, literally a turd on the ground is more valuable than these people. 100%. And there's nothing lower I can think of than a brown white supremacist. And so let me know down in the comment section, what do you guys think about these people? Are you one? Do you encounter them? What do you think you should do about them? Let me know down in the comment section below. But with that being said, this has been Emperor Dion the Lion, and I've given these people way more attention than they deserve. I feel even really icky, like I need to go take a shower just from even thinking about these people. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Later.